So with the chassis on the rotisserie, it's time to weld it all up. Let's get into it. So we've spent the best part of the day welding up all of this chassis here. We've got the rails all the way along done, top and bottom, underneath here, all around my engine mounts. It looks really, really good. I've got some fish plates here on the side where there was a little crack and I wanted those fixed up. There's also another fish plate on this side. Fixed up all the welds that the previous owner had done to this front end to the best of our ability. Well, to the best of a professional welder's ability. With what we had, there wasn't too much we could do except just grind it out and try and fix it. Some of it he's left. He said just leave it, it's okay. Some he's done some pretty fat welds. That's okay, it's cool by me. So what I'm going to do now is just grind all the tops of these down, like this face, and then the flat face here, just to clean it up and make it look a little better before we paint it. What the next thing to do is, just at the moment though, is I want to pull this front end out. I've already undone all the bolts because I want to just clean up all these corners. I want to put some radiuses on here, and over here, here, and on the other side. I think it'll just neaten it all up. So that's what I'm going to do now. Pull it out and clean all that up. So I guess I can talk about it or just do it. You know, there's something floating around in there as well. I think this is the time to try and fish it out somehow. I don't even know what it is. Hopefully I can get it out. Because as we were turning this rotisserie around, it kept rattling around in there. And that might annoy me when I'm driving. Anyway, I'm going to get the angle grinder out here for the moment and just tidy up some things. There you go, there's those corners all rounded off, all the way around. I'll have to clean up in here. I'll just do that with a wire brush. And I've got to also get out whatever's floating around in there. So I'll put this to the side for the moment, and I'll worry about trying to get out what's inside it at a later date. Might have to get some magnets or something, I don't really know. Maybe stick it in these holes there. Try and figure out what it is. But anyway, moving right along. Like I said, I'll put this to the side and well, I'll start lining up this chassis. So I've been cleaning out this cross member this morning and figuring out what this rattle was. Well, I found it. It's all of these. Now these are rivets that hold the front end on to the original car through these here, and they run off to the front here just to support it from rocking. And in this application we're not using it anymore, and we've got these brackets here. That'll stop it from rocking and hold it into the front end, as you saw. But I don't know why the previous owner let these fall in. I mean, while he cut this open, he could have fished them out. He could have prevented 45 minutes of me trying to get these out with a magnet. That's just stupid. While I've been cleaning and turning the chassis around on the rotisserie, I could hear some banging. And I pulled out a couple more of those rivets. And then I just found this. A bolt with the head cut off, sitting in the chassis. I'm a little bit speechless why you would do that and not fish it out. Anyway, I'm glad I got it, because I probably wouldn't have heard it if it wasn't on a rotisserie, and every time you're turning it, it just makes noise. Anyway, I hope that's the last bit. I'm glad I got this as well. Let's see if there's any more rattles now. Well, apart from that squeak, that's just the bearing. No more rattles. That's the way it should be. Okay, so we've got all the welds ground down, and I've even gone ahead and ground down a whole heap of the old primer. So I'm at a stage now where I can use the Miracle paint and brush it on, making sure I get right inside that chassis as well, so that I can protect it. Now, this Miracle paint is a high gloss finish, and I don't know if I want a high gloss finish on this. It'd be nice if it was matte. That might hide some sins. There are a few little sins on this chassis that I would like to cover. But I'll assess that once I've got it done and go from there. Hopefully we don't need to put any other colour on the top of it, and the Miracle paint will be fine. Well, I think I'm done for the day. I've got the front suspension cross member done, both sides. I mean, underneath still needs to be done, but I'll just worry about that on another day. And I've got this chassis completely done. It turned out pretty good. And I managed to get all of the insides done as well. If we walk around to the underside, yeah, that's going to look pretty trick when it's under the truck. Anyway, I'll let this dry for a couple of days. I've got other things to do anyway over the next couple of days, so this is really good that I got this painted. Well, as you can see, I did end up pulling those lower control arms off, and in the process, destroyed the bushes. So I figured while the control arms were out, we'd get some brand new ball joints as well. So they're off getting pressed in. When they get back, I'll paint them up too. Then I'll get this all assembled, throw it in the chassis, get some wheels on it, and we can start building this thing. Well, I got my control arms back with some brand new ball joints. I also got to paint these, and I forgot the little cross member, the little gearbox cross member. So I'm going to give these a coat of paint tonight, and hopefully they'll be dry enough to put another coat on them tomorrow morning. Well, it's been a few days and got home late last night and decided to do a little bit of painting. I managed to get my diff done, also got the rear springs done, and the front suspension cross member, the bottom of it, which I didn't get to a few days ago. So now I really can start getting this thing back together again, get it on the ground and get a set of wheels on it. But I'll leave that for another video, and hopefully I'll catch you on the next one.